That was funny. This is like a work of art. I only use it for one reason, but I give up. Right, we got 43%, which means we've got literally 15 minutes of charging to get this back up to that. Now, the world will think I'm the biggest wanker that the world has ever. And it's always, why do I turn this computer on if I've got to just, because this is my power bank, right? If I'm just plugging that in, because you have to turn the computer on. Keyboard's been broken for years with this, well, years, like within a year of buying a pathetic Lenovo, the keyboard breaks. I've changed it once already, so I have to plug that in. But why? Because then you have to put it on the low power battery saver. If I put it on battery saver, well, you see, this is why I literally despise men, because there should be some way. And of course, oh Christ, you see, I fucked up, right? Before I turn the computer on, well, before I turn my camera on, because I'm as wanting to appear like a beautiful Charles Eisensteinian guru like everybody else. Now, I'm being ironic, and there are 3 women in this. Oh, there it is. Right, there are 3 women who know that I'm just positive irony all the time. Before I turned the computer on, I should have had my wire out, because I've now wasted, okay, it's gone from 44 to 43%, but, well, certainly in the winter, it could drop just like that. It would lose. As I said, this is my, see, it's down to 42%. You see? Oh, so why is he wasting time talking into his camera? Because with all these bloody time-wasting women, even the cancelled bishop, Joe Penberthy, Jesus Christ, she has wasted. I mean, I am not just somebody who operates in good faith. I operate in 100% only assist them first, fix bits of them, which means, oh, look, there we go. See, I've just caught it, right? Now, if I turn this, this is what I have to do. I don't mind it. I like it. It's all a struggle. My struggle. Carl Ove Knausgaard's book is the worst book in the world ever. Now, bizarrely, the only good film I've seen in the only good recently made film, or film made in the last few years, I've seen, so I've just got to put it on to sleep. If I put it on to sleep, right, now, then I have to check, is it still charging? Yes, and I can't even breathe to move the wires. Right, is the Norwegian film Worst Woman in the World? It's funny, it's got a sense of humour. It can't have been that good, because I advise women on what movies they should watch to inspire them, life-affirming. And they agree my choice is Captain Fantastic and Touchable, and then there's a few others. Seduced and Abandoned was a good one. I had one of my trainees watching that before she went to see a filmmaker. It's actually good. I don't normally like films like that, but it's actually good, that. Yeah, so what have I gone off onto a tangent? What was I talking about? Yeah, so the most important thing is just efficiency. Now, I don't mind. So I knew that I don't have to move for 10 minutes. So charge that from that. As I say, that's my power bank. Well, I've actually turned the camera on. I've actually turned the camera on. Yes, self-critique is the critical thing. And I mean, the mongrel, she sent me this. I actually, she's the only, I mean, because she's 40, it's like, she doesn't care about what anybody says about her. The most fabulous, what is she, half Pakistan, Pukka Pakistani, yeah, we joke all the time. The Pukka half pack, Princess Yasmin. She's the own. I mean, and she's also Heidi. She's half Heidi. Right, to the point. She and I, we confer all the time. She's an absolute elite of art house cinema. total elite. So fuck off, right? She knows that my thoughts are just as good as hers. Yeah, she may. Yeah, so it's about efficiency. If we liaise on material, what was I talking about? Yeah, kind of training course. So I've lost my thread. No, because I'm up always, ideally at 6 o'clock or 5:45, but sometimes, like this morning, at 5, which is just a little bit too early. You know, it's so important. The difference between having 6.5 hours or even 7 hours sleep and 7.5. Anyway, the time waste from all of them. But I have my little inner group, and when they will be unleashed on the world. Not of politics, but politics and art are the same world, which is, of course, all effete artists have failed to maintain. Artists of the past. And quite, yes, I mean, the only thing, like when I was a kid, we did kind of study, or you got into the head of Leonardo da Vinci. Now, he was a magnificent artist, but he was a politician too. Maybe not actually officially, but he was there guiding society forward. The magnificent Yaz, in fact, I should call her Yaz Meinhof, and that would be a joke from the Baader Meinhof. And I'm a total pacifist. I would not even, I mean, it's actually funny the way people, I couldn't have voted Labour. I mean, anything but Tory, but I couldn't have voted Labour. I didn't vote. When there's nobody to vote for anymore. I mean, today the Green Party are actually going to have Ellie Childs. This is just, you know, this is somebody I've seen at close hand. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's a good thing that they do have the pair of them running. But anyway, let's keep to the point. I wouldn't, I mean, the way people are seeing through, except for the fucking Mormon who lives in A, who's so smug, okay, are seeing through Starmer. I mean, I knew Starmer's a fake. Starmer claimed to have been involved in the Helen Steele, and I always forget her partner's name, McLibel case, where fair dinkum, although she got it wrong on one thing, they needed to have Zen time out to laugh. I did a case just as big as hers. Hers was the biggest ever case in legal history. I did that in essence over 2 or 3 years and succeeded, but I made sure you had downtime, but more importantly, sticking your finger up time with a clean fingernail to the system, the judiciary. I even would send in statements to judges, senior ones, basically never quite saying, you are a venal. The word venal is the worst word you could use for a judge. It means capable of being bought. You are a venal cunt. My judge, the main one, was Brown, and he knew I loved him. I did actually love him. But you're not quite allowed. You got to play the game. Yeah, your court is just venal to have imposed this imposition on me, having to go to another court when you yourself have said there is nothing unusual in this case. So why are you allowing it to be transferred to the High Court, which is going to cost me in petrol, parking fees, yet another day out of my life? Fuck you. So I sent that and right to the top High Court judge up, who lost his job. I'm a nuclear bomb. Okay, all based on love. Anyway, to the point. I don't want to go on about that. Turning these things into art now. Yes, I wouldn't even wish. Everybody has seen through now Starmer. What Starmer did. Starmer. He claimed, over-claiming, oh, I was one of Helen Steele's kind of inner circle, top cheerleading, pro bono legal people. I don't believe a fucking word. Okay? Yeah, he might have had a look at her papers and probably I'm quite sure he had nothing useful to say. But he's claiming, I mean, that's terribly important thing that Steele and her partner did, smashing back on freedom of speech, McDonald's. It's all in the McLibel movie, which probably has been put behind a paywall too. You can find most things on pirate sites. So people have seen through Starmer. What was I going to say? Starmer Stan. Yeah. There's no hope unless there's really good arts. But you've got to more than parody people like Starmer. Parody Lampoon. I mean, as they did in Don't Look Up, the most brilliant. Unfortunately, you see, the extreme cases never make good law, they say, nor art. Making art, I think Don't Look Up, the movie, almost does qualify as art. So brilliantly parodying. I didn't even think that it was the case first time I watched it. I very rarely watch a movie twice. Parodying Trump. Meryl Streep as Trump. I mean, in fact, the best one is Meryl Streep's son in the film. That's just brilliantly done. But parodying, satirizing, lampooning the extreme cases doesn't actually help, because it's like, right, okay, yeah, the extreme case of Trump and his, is it Kushner? I can't even remember. Parodying, satirizing them, I'm afraid deflects from the point. The point is, all my I just monitor a few of them, top goody-goody, people of good faith, we would call them, Guardian reading types 15 years ago. They basically, almost all of them, well, Starmer's going to save the world. Someone with a brain who already knew that Starmer was a lying, opportunistic, chameleon, total lizard you can't trust as far as you... Londoner, he's a Londoner. You can't trust him as far as you can fucking jab something up his arse and say, mate, you've got to sort this environment out. Now, you trust an allotment man, Corbyn. He was a Londoner too. I can't even... No, he wasn't. He was a country boy. There you go. You trust an allotment bicycling riding man, Corbyn. He's going to more or less keep to his whatnot. Anyway, let's... right, this has gone on for too long. Why have I turned the camera on? It's a complete and utter continual, enjoyable, sometimes slightly tiring actually, battle just to keep the efficiency going of the operation, which behind the camera there's other, so Yasmin, for years 3 years I've been like, come on, she said she's gonna, right, it's time, she knows it's time. There is no hope unless a little gang are taking forward some genuinely lampooning, satirical, provocative, powerful, but life-affirming art. I still can't even stand that word art. To me, it's just culture. I'm sure in the Epic of Gilgamesh, there are great lines. I did have a quick read through it. That's the first ever proper book. There are great lines of how to stab your way. Now, I'm a pacifist. I wouldn't even wish Starmer a cold, a bad... I wouldn't even wish Starmer a pimple on his chin. Okay? How to stab at the Canton vanity. Okay? That's what art must do. Attacking Trump or some figure like that is not going to help. You have to stab and attack at those who are considered all right. And there is a we, believe me, there is a we. We know who they are. They're the ones that, she's so wonderful as an artist or a community guide. I have my gang in place, dotted around. Beware, cruel world. Even though they need just a little last bit of training.